learn or experience you bring back with you and you want to turn it into something, be it turn it into a business, turn it into an opportunity, turn it into a relocation event, turn it into maybe again, I can't even begin to put all of them into play, but there's so many different ways that you can bring back your trip and use it to your advantage.
Welcome to Cards and Constellations with Bonnie Morris and Don Rumor Rivera from Sonoran Mystic Tarot. Here, we blend astrology and tarot to guide you through the twists and turns for the week ahead. Don't forget to hit subscribe and share. Let's dive into your cosmic journey together.
We start with the moon. This is the week of August 4th through the 10th. The moon this week on the 9th is full at 16 degrees of Aquarius. Now we need to back this up and find the new moon in Aquarius, which occurred February 9th of 2024 at 20 degrees. Then on November 8th of 2024, we had the first quarter moon where you did all the work for this project. And that occurred at 17 degrees of Aquarius. Now we're at the full moon where you can see everything. And if there's anything that needs to be changed or tweaked, now is the time to do it. And then pivot, turn away, and wait for the last quarter, which occurs on May 9th of 2026 at 19 degrees of Aquarius. And that's when we celebrate the success, turn away, and allow the project to move on its own. Next, we want to look at the void, of course. This begins August 5th at 8:28 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And it starts at 29 degrees of Sagittarius. And then at 10:04 a.m., it enters Capricorn and the void ends. Wow, 2-hour void. That's normal. Next, we go to August 26th at 10:59 a.m. The void, of course, begins at 12 degrees of Capricorn. This continues until August 7th at 6:18 p.m. when it enters the sign of Aquarius. On August 9th at 54 minutes past midnight, the void, of course, begins at 16 degrees of Aquarius. Later that day, at 11:50 p.m., the void ends as the moon goes into Pisces. Now, on the last day of this week, August 10th, no, let's change that to the last few minutes of the last day of this week. At 11:54 p.m. on August 10th, at 13 degrees of Pisces, we start a void, of course. This lasts for 2 days. This does not stop until August 12th at 3:33 a.m.
Thank you, Ms. Bonnie, for that general understanding of astrology for the week. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you tarot real quick, and then Ms. Bonnie will come back and finalize things with her astrology for your specific sign. So let's get to it. Sagittarius, let's start with your tarot. Then I'm going to hand you over to Ms. Bonnie. She'll do the astrology specific for your sign, and then we'll get back together and we'll have a little peek and compare notes on astrology versus tarot. Your first card out, which is your energy for the week, this week, is the World card. I love the World card. The World card is wonderful. The World card is telling me that someone's going to be traveling, or someone just traveled, or someone is traveling. There's a travel situation here, so enjoy your trip. Get ready for a trip. If you are on a trip now, I'm not surprised. If you're getting ready to go on a trip, then this is a thing about preparation. This is going to be a reading about preparation for the trip. And if you just had a trip, then this is going to be bringing closure to a trip. Question is, I love this. The energy around you is a 2 of Wands. That 2 of Wands is telling me that around you is choices, choices, choices. And so I think this is more about a trip that is presently happening or is in the works. This isn't about something you most recently did, probably. This is more about, but then again, I must at the same time reiterate, I can see how this could be a situation where while you were traveling, you had an opportunity. Maybe an opportunity arose, or maybe a position arose, or a potential. This could be a situation where if you were traveling and you liked it so much, you're like, hey, do we maybe want to consider moving here? Do we want to relocate? This could also be a situation of where you traveled and you found a product that you wanted to maybe start selling, or that you wanted to learn more about something, again, expand your horizon. So this could be a decision about what do you learn, what do you do with the information you learn during your trip. Now, the second way to read this again is the travel that you're on now. And if that's the case, it's like, okay, what are the decisions you're making on the trip? Is this trip purely pleasure? Is this trip pleasure and work? Is this purely work? And what do you do with it? How can you gain from this trip? There's so much more to do. And that's what that two, again, two energy, that two wands energy is all about understanding there's more than one way to see something. And more importantly, there's more than one way to gain from something. Okay. And then, of course, that world card in the future is like, where do I go? What am I doing? And what is the trip for? So this is a lot of trip energy. And this may even be more than one trip, which is interesting because, again, it has that two there. The next card out is the Sun card. I'm loving the Sun card here. The Sun card is letting you know that this is going to be like the last hurrah trip before the fall ends. This is going to be a trip to a sunny space, a sunny destination. This is going to be someplace that's enlightening, someplace that maybe you haven't seen before. This is going to be a new destination, probably. This is going to be educational and enlightening. It's also going to be refreshing. So it serves two purposes. Again, remember that two we talked about, which is the energy around you. It serves two purposes. So it could be that you let your hair down and relax, and at the same time you see some things you haven't seen before or done some things you haven't done before. This also, again, could be a situation where while you are traveling, you are like, you know what, this could wind up being a place where I want to be. So don't be surprised. I keep getting that relocation energy, but more importantly, tons of travel energy, which I'm loving it. The next card out is Nine of Cups. You're going to enjoy the heck out of this trip, by the way. And you're going to enjoy the planning even. So again, if you are already in the trip, you're already enjoying it for sure. But if you haven't started the trip yet, don't be surprised if you're going to enjoy the planning. You're going to be hearing about, hey, why don't we do this while we're here? Why don't we do that? Reservations. Make sure you're having good food. Make sure that you're trying traditional food if you are going someplace you haven't been before. Even if you're traveling in your own country, try to enjoy something that is unique to the region you're traveling to that maybe you would not eat otherwise. Okay, make sure that you're being adventurous in that way. If you're somebody who likes the spirits, if you like, and I'm talking spirit energy as in drinks, all right, because there's other spirits too. We'll get into that in a minute. But if you like spirits and drinks, find a local alcohol or a local drink that is specific and try it. Again, it's food and drink and also a local cultural thing. If people in the area do X, then do X, try X, whatever it might be. If they're all predisposed to go to a baseball game, go to a baseball game and try it out. Who knows? If they're predisposed to do clam digging, go clam digging. If you go crabbing, go crabbing. Whatever it is that people do. If you go bass fishing, go bass fishing. Whatever, do it and enjoy it. Try the regional and try the local. So therefore, when you do the regional and local thing, you're experiencing everything you can imagine. All right, but keep your mind open because I'm telling you, this trip will be so good for you. And it's so eye-opening. And then there's that High Priestess card. And so when the High Priestess card comes out again, she has ideas. She has ideas. So again, don't be surprised if whatever you learn or experience you bring back with you and you want to turn it into something, be it turn it into a business, turn it into an opportunity, turn it into a relocation event, turn it into maybe, again, I can't even begin to put all of them into play, but there's so many different ways that you can bring back your trip and use it to your advantage. You can even create a local shop that has that flair. You can create a local product, or even take a product from there and start importing it here and selling it here wherever the here may be for you. There's so many ways in which this can be. So this trip is really going to be instrumental to a lot of things. And yeah, I can't begin to, I can't even, I just can't even, I can't even, there's just so many good things here. So the last thing I'll give you a warning about is a 2 here. And that 2 is saying, don't miss the opportunity. Don't miss the opportunity to go. But more importantly, when you are there, don't miss the opportunity to enjoy life, let your hair down and pick up something and bring it back. Bring back some aspect of your experience, some aspect of the culture, bring back something that you can share with other people, and you then can relive the experience yourself that way over and over again. Because this is gonna be a good trip. I get lots of positive energy. So enjoy your trip and let me know how it goes. Again, if you've not yet completed the plans, make sure you really plan it out. I'm talking plan out dinners, plan out lunches, plan out excursions, and make sure that you have everything lined up so there'll be no disruptions. Because when those things are in place, it makes it flow easier because you don't have to worry in the moment and whatever. If anything, you can cancel reservations, but sometimes you can't make reservations when there are no spaces left. So plan ahead. All right. With that said, I'm going to let you go. Let's then turn to Miss Bonnie and see what astrology says. Astrology, are you as inquisitive and are you ready to travel as is the tarot? We're going to find out. Miss Bonnie, what you got?
Sagittarius, we start off this week with the kite that we had last week, headed towards Saturn, dragging Mars along with it. And we also see Mercury in a direct opposition with Pluto. That's playing tug of war between the mind and change. Now, reminder, Saturn has been conjunct with Neptune, dancing back and forth in the sign of Aries and Pisces. So anytime you hear me mention Saturn, it's always going to apply to Neptune also. We have Mars, of course, like I said, in an opposition with Saturn. Therefore, it's in an opposition with Neptune. That brings some tension with it between the desire to act and your dreams and ideals. Now, with these aspects, can sometimes struggle to distinguish between inspired action and escapism. So be careful. Ground yourself. Your energy can be sensitive and diffuse, but also very creative when focused. We actually have almost a perfect grand cross with two oppositions perpendicular to one another. That is the opposition between Mars and Saturn and Moon and Venus. They are a couple degrees away from being a grand cross and a grand square. Midway through the week, we see that the moon is opposite Venus. Oh boy, we've got your feelings now playing tug of war with your desire for romance. This can give you strong yearning for connection, but you may feel conflicted about what you think love should look like. We also have the moon opposite your planet of Jupiter. You have the yearning to live and emotional and a spiritual richness. But often you feel pulled between emotional security and the desire to grow, or for the desire for adventure. That fits Sagittarius. You may seek comfort through traveling in order to balance between that home and your horizon. On Thursday, we get to have the moon go opposite Mercury. This is between your heart and mind. With this aspect, you can be thoughtful and intelligent, just you will really struggle to communicate it clearly. We see another kite appear, just like last week, only it's going in a different direction. The difference this week is it's headed towards Mercury, the planet of thought, communication, and technology. And the other kind is leading us towards Saturn. That's the planet of restriction, commitment, lessons. Amongst those two kites are 4 planets in a formation of a mystic rectangle. And that's often thought of as good fortune. However, there are 2 oppositions from corner to corner. So you have an opposition between Mars and Saturn and Neptune, and you have the opposition between Mercury and Pluto. The moon opposite Mercury brings luck between the heart and mind. People can be thoughtful and intelligent, just have a difficult time communicating that. And on Saturday, we have a full moon, the sun and the moon facing each other. It's a beautiful dance between yourself and emotion. Sometimes harmonious and sometimes not so much. This highlights the contrast, especially in close relationships.
Well. Looks like Miss Bonnie's astrology was right on target with what I was saying. New travel and new perspective. Exactly what I got from Miss Bonnie's reading. And that's pretty much aligned with what I saw. Again, that travel, that opportunity gives you a new perspective. It gives you the opportunity to live and experience something, and then you bring it back with you. So again, I'm loving the fact that astrology is giving you the same advice to make sure as you travel, make sure you do travel. And as you travel, make sure that you learn, grow, and experience something, and then bring it home with you. And you will see how that alters your perspective on many things. With that said, I'm going to let you go. And Miss Bonnie and I wish to send to you and your families love, light, and blessings. Additionally, hit that share button on my side if you're on Sonoran Mystic Tarot. If you're on Sonoran Mystic Tarot, please pop over to Your Love Goddess and do the same. Hit the subscribe button. If you're on Your Love Goddess, please pop over to Sonoran Mystic Tarot, which is mine, and hit that subscribe button. And if you're so inclined, go to Cards and Constellations and do the same. If you share our site out, our channel out, this message out, you help people find us, and we would help you. We would hope that you would help us grow our channel. With that said, have an amazing week. Again, get out there, be creative, be fun, and be in the moment. Be in the moment. Bye-bye.